It's Friday, August 12th, 2022, and this is the Washington Times front page. Thanks for joining us. I'm George Gerbo. Attorney General Merrick Garland voiced a full-throated defense of the Department of Justice and its employees as he took full responsibility for the raid at former President Trump's residence at Mar-a-Lago. Jeff Murdoch and Kerry Pickett report Garland sought to dispel the rumors and speculation that have surrounded the Monday raid by asking a federal court to unseal the search warrant used to search the estate and the property receipt of what was taken. Garland said he didn't take the decision to approve the search warrant lightly. He said he would have taken a less intrusive step if it were available. Trump's attorneys said they were cooperating with the DOJ about the contested documents, making the search unnecessary. It's highly unusual for the Justice Department to ask a federal judge to unseal a search warrant, but Garland cited substantial public interest in this matter as the reason for the request. Garland did not say whether the unsealing could be granted or when the search warrant and property receipt could be released. A decision by the Federal Labor Relations Authority erases the National ICE Council and leaves its 7,600 members, mostly deportation officers, without a collective bargaining agreement or union representation. Stephen Dinan reports the American Federation of Government Employees, the umbrella union that included the ICE Council, moved to disclaim the ICE employees this summer after the council filed a complaint claiming gross mismanagement at AFGE. Instead, AFGE's disclaimer abolishes the council and leaves its members back at the starting point. They must now go through a new organization drive and renegotiate a collective bargaining agreement. You can read all of these stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page. You can also find the entire lineup of Washington Times podcasts at WashingtonTimes.com/podcasts. Not even a plot to assassinate former National Security Advisor John Bolton will derail the Biden administration's push for a renewed nuclear deal with Iran. Ben Wolfgang and Guy Taylor report the State Department stands behind the effort to strike a new pact with Iran to limit the country's nuclear weapons program. A top diplomatic spokesperson told reporters the U.S. is prepared to immediately implement an agreement if Iran drops several of its demands. The comments came a day after the Justice Department charged a member of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps with plotting to kill former White House National Security Advisor John Bolton, an outspoken Iran hawk. The assassination plot also reportedly targeted former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. President Biden said the push for a revived agreement reflects the overwhelming need to prevent Iran from getting nuclear weapons. Critics say it's a case of diplomacy pushing blindly ahead, even though the regional and global strategic landscape has shifted. And finally, House Progressive Caucus Chair Pramila Jayapal is taking inspiration from her home city of Seattle to stress a national agenda that mirrors progressive labor policies. Mika Selner reports from the Emerald City, where Jayapal brought the House Select Committee on Economic Disparity and Fairness and Growth to this week to showcase her hometown and policies. Those include a citywide 4-week paid parental leave policy and the highest minimum wage in the nation at $17.27 per hour. Some of her more moderate Democratic colleagues expressed some doubts, however, about whether Seattle's model is replicable nationwide. Studies of the city's economic policies have shown mixed results in tackling the income inequality they were supposed to mitigate. Find all of today's front page stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page or on the Washington Times app, and find us wherever you get your podcasts. Just search Washington Times in your favorite podcast app. You can also find us on Twitter and Instagram at WashTimes for breaking news, sports, commentary, and more. For the Washington Times, I'm George Gerbo.